Then we got Ron Rudge, right?
Well, I think first of all we rented the band house, didn't we?
Right, okay. We rented this incredible big band house in Kenmore, Washington.
Yeah.
It had 2 living areas downstairs.
Kind of like mother-in-law apartments with, you know, kitchens and baths and separations and everything, and then a whole big gigantic upstairs for...
So we had Ken Hansen on percussion. He was a real artistic, he was an artist too. Real artistic guy, long black hair, kind of quirky.
Yeah.
Gary Ziegelman on lead vocals.
Yeah, that was after Don had left the band too. Don actually lived at the band house for a while.
Yeah.
Him and Colleen.
That's right, yeah.
But we had fallen out.
Gary Ziegelman had this long blonde beard, blonde hair. He was pretty crazy.
Mr. Zigzag tattooed on his shoulder.
He was pretty crazy. He wasn't that good a singer really, but he had a real strong personality. And James Chirillo on guitar.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Who, I'm sure that he's just a monster now, but he was really great back then. And he was nice, smooth, polished little Italian guy that was totally into music. You know, we'd have parties there at the house, and he'd be the DJ. Oh, listen to this, man! And he'd be playing King Crimson and Miles Davis and all this great music. He turned us on to a lot of music.
Yeah, he sure did. And Gary Ziegelman would play Black Sabbath from morning till night, the same album over and over and over. And
I remember I had my whole apartment little area there to myself, and I really dressed it up cool. It was a really nice little artistic, cool looking place. I think my dad said it looked like a whorehouse or something. But I really loved having my own space there like that, and cooking for myself.
We had our little Champ amps.
That's right.
Champs, and they were tweed with the brown Tolex, or brown grill cloth. And if we had those amps today, we could retire.
Those things just sounded so great. And then we would run one channel into the other to boost it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we had a garage full of equipment and lights and everything, and we'd rehearse.
And we immediately got complaints, so we went out and bought a whole bunch of carpets and nailed up carpets 2, 3, 4 thick all around the room. And then when we would practice, this dust would come down from the bass guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember that room got really hot on summer days. Sunny summer days.
Yeah. And the landlord actually lived right behind us, and you know, being musicians and stuff, we were always kind of like, oh, we're not playing till this weekend, so we can't get the rent till next week. And
he was always pretty cool.
Yeah, he was always cool about it.
He was a great guy. I remember one time, my mom and dad smoked hash with us a couple of times, I think, and pot maybe just a couple of times over the years. But one day my dad brought down this bag of weed, and he said, hey guys, I just wanted to get your opinion on this, see how good it is. So, and he kind of made a big deal out of it. We didn't really know what was going on, so all of us came in there. We all loved to smoke pot, and so he breaks out his bag on the table, and we roll up some joints, and it tastes pretty good, Hank. Yeah, I'm getting a good buzz off that. And so he let us go for quite a while, and then he said, you know, I just bought that at the drugstore. That's catnip. But it worked for us.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah. We thought it worked.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Maybe that's why...
So that was the first time I got kicked out of a band. My own band was living in that house. And that was the result of, we had gone and played this gig it was when we were auditioning for Hair, I think. Remember that?
Yeah, we were auditioning to do the band for something cool.
Yeah, and it was looking like a shoe-in, you know. It was looking like we should pretty much have that. And it would have been a real nice opportunity to get. But when we got to this place, the waitress said, Raj, look, we found a bunch of cocaine here from last night's gig or last night's party or whatever. So she laid some out on the table and I snorted up this coke. And the men's bathroom was closed for some reason. They were fixing the toilet or something. And it wasn't long before I started feeling kind of strange. And I thought, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. So I went to the ladies' bathroom and I'm sitting there on the toilet. And the floor is just kind of swimming around a little bit. And Hendrix was playing in the other room. And the way the floor was moving, and pretty soon the wall was moving, and the music became what I was seeing. And it was at that moment that I realized, this is more than cocaine. There's something going on here, you know. Because everything physical became now the music. The music was everything that was physical, and there was no difference between anything. Everything is just kind of swimming. And so, whoa, what the heck is going on? I go out there and then I start hearing people talking over there. Yeah, the stuff that was found last night, don't touch any of that because it was laced with strychnine or something. It had some...
I heard it was STP.
Whatever. It had something pretty strong, really strong in it. And I was just on another planet.
Yeah, he was out of it.
So time to do our sound check. I go up there, and I did not know anything about guitar. I didn't know. There was no connection between me and guitar. I didn't know how to play it. Didn't know how to tune it. It was really, really awful.
Yeah, it was bad. And then
so then our manager Don McKinney said, "Raj, what's going on?" I took some stuff, Don. I don't know. I can't think. I can't play. He said, "Okay, I'm going to take you up to the free clinic.
Yeah.
Free clinic, where they'll give you an anti-whatever." And so we jump in the car. We're running out of time now before the gig. It's a big deal for Don McKinney. He got us this gig, this audition, and everything. This is he stands to make make some good money on this.
And it was at the hippest club in Seattle at the time.
The Pharaoh,
the Trolley, maybe?
The Trolley.
I remember that.
Yeah. And so we go to the free clinic. They said, well, what did he take? Well, we don't know. Well, we can't help you if you don't know what he took. So we leave there, go back down to the club. It's pretty much time to play.
Pretty much everybody in the band, like Ron Rudge was a pretty uptight guy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And this just put him over the top. And Trillo he was a pretty straight and narrow, straight ahead type guy, and his dad was in the military, and they were pretty well off. They lived in a pretty fancy schmancy section of Bellevue, and he was pretty disappointed too. I mean, but Zigelman was going. You can have a laugh about it, but and so between Ron Rudge being uptight and James Trillo being disappointed, and I was disappointed too because I know it was our what we thought was our big opportunity, but yeah, Raj. I don't think during the night you ever just got back the guitar.
No, I think I went out and tried to play for a while, and maybe about 30 seconds to a minute, it was good. It was really good. But then all of a sudden, didn't work. So I took the guitar off. I went and took the mic from Zigelman and started singing. And I swear it was really, really good for a while until that fell apart. So I gave him the mic back. And then I laid down on the stage with my head upside down looking at the audience because I, for some reason, thought that everybody in the audience knew what was going on. And so I was just going to have fun with it and just be entertaining. So I was laying on the stage with my head hanging over the edge of the stage looking at the audience for a while, and then I just
And of course, everybody in the band was just totally mortified, freaked out, you know, because all the stuff we rehearsed, it just wasn't coming, you know. We were just, everybody was losing it.
So as a result of that night, I was fired from the group.
Well, yeah, and Raj he was high for a good 3 days,
yeah.
at least.
Just absolutely.
And everybody was worried about it. He even disappeared.
Oh, I went for a walk and just walked and walked and walked all day on these weird mental trips with relationships with Bob Dylan and Mick Jagger and John Lennon and people and Jimi Hendrix, where some kind of universal stuff was going on with these guys, and I don't know.
and so the band was all freaked out, and you know, I kind of, me being who I am and what I'm all about, you know, I've known Raj all these years, and I was, you know, of course I could forgive all that stuff because I knew that what happened, it was just an accident that it wasn't cool, but it did happen, and you know, so I was outvoted by the rest of the band, and you know, everybody was pissed off, and you know, what could I do? I was just I was outvoted, even though I was the leader, I was still outvoted, and so we. You know, everybody was blah 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 Roger blah blah you know, and
But then like a week later you said, okay, you can come back.
well, yeah, because you lived there.
Yeah. That's good.
And he got back to normal, and you know, he apologized, and you know, went.
Oh, my parents were so disappointed, and I was really ashamed of myself. You know, I'm usually the most gung-ho guy in the band, and I had just really screwed up, so yeah, I was very...
Yeah, we thought, oh man, we'll never get another opportunity as long as you know.